Insecurity is a silent shadow that follows us, whispering doubts and fears even when there's no real threat. It's that deep, restless feeling that makes us want to hide away, to protect ourselves from a world that often seems too overwhelming. Just like the guinea pig, small, alert, and quick to retreat into its burrow at the slightest sign of danger, we carry within us an instinctual vulnerability. In this exploration, we'll journey into this emotional state, using nature's subtle teacher to uncover the roots of our deepest fears and the ways they shape our lives. Insecurity is more than just a passing feeling, it's a deep emotional state that colors how we see ourselves and the world around us. When insecurity runs deep, it creates an internal tension, a constant undercurrent of worry and self-doubt that shapes our thoughts and actions. It's not always loud or obvious, sometimes it's a quiet unease, an invisible weight that pulls us toward caution and avoidance. This emotional state manifests in countless ways in everyday life, often without us fully realizing its power. Think about moments when you hesitate to speak up in a group, fearing judgment or rejection. Or when you avoid new experiences, not because you dislike them, but because a hidden voice whispers, "What if you fail? What if you don't belong?" These reactions stem from the emotional core of insecurity, the fear of being vulnerable and exposed. Insecurity creates a desire for constant safety, not just physical but emotional and social as well. It is the feeling that somehow, the world is a risky place, and we must protect ourselves from its unpredictable dangers. In practical terms, insecurity often looks like a series of self-protective behaviors. Someone might cancel plans at the last minute because the anxiety of social interaction feels overwhelming. Others might overprepare or seek constant reassurance to soothe their inner fears. These behaviors are attempts to create a sense of control in an uncertain world. They reveal how deeply insecurity can influence our choices and shape our daily rhythms. But insecurity is also deeply tied to our need for acceptance and belonging. We all want to feel seen and valued, yet insecurity clouds that desire with doubt. Am I enough? Do I matter? This emotional turmoil can lead to isolation, even when surrounded by people. The paradox of insecurity is that it pushes us away from connection even as we crave it most. Understanding this contradiction is key to recognizing how insecurity affects us at a core level. Insecurity doesn't just affect our social lives, it can impact our work, our relationships, and our personal growth. For example, someone might avoid pursuing a promotion because they fear they won't live up to expectations, or hesitate to express their true feelings to loved ones out of fear of rejection. These moments illustrate how insecurity limits our potential, holding us back from experiences that could bring growth and joy. At its root, insecurity is about vulnerability. It reveals a part of us that feels fragile and uncertain, a natural response to a world that can be harsh and unpredictable. But while vulnerability is often seen as a weakness, it is also the doorway to authenticity and courage. The challenge lies in recognizing our insecurity without letting it define us, learning to sit with discomfort instead of fleeing from it. In this chapter, we have only begun to touch on what deep insecurity feels like in the human experience. The next chapters will reveal how this emotional state is reflected in the natural world, in the small, alert creature known as the guinea pig. And what we can learn from this connection about our own fears and defenses. In the quiet corners of nature, the guinea pig moves with a particular kind of vigilance. Small and seemingly fragile, this creature embodies alertness and caution, always ready to retreat at the first sign of trouble. Despite its gentle appearance, the guinea pig survives through an innate sensitivity to danger, a survival mechanism that mirrors the deep insecurity felt by many humans. Understanding the guinea pig's natural behavior gives us a window into the instinctual roots of our own emotional fears. Guinea pigs, originally native to the Andean regions of South America, have evolved to live in environments where predators are common threats. Their survival depends on their ability to detect danger early and respond quickly. This sensitivity is evident in their large, round eyes that seem to scan their surroundings constantly, and in their keen hearing, which picks up the faintest rustle or sound. This heightened awareness keeps them on edge, ready to spring into action at any moment. One of the most striking behaviors of the guinea pig is its habit of seeking shelter. When threatened, it will dart immediately to its burrow or any available hiding place, sometimes freezing still to avoid detection. This rapid retreat is not a sign of weakness but a well-honed defense strategy, a way to survive when facing predators much larger and stronger. This instinctual, hide-and-seek dynamic reflects a profound connection to safety and protection, a need to find refuge in times of uncertainty. Socially, guinea pigs also exhibit behaviors that relate to their survival instincts. They often live in groups, a strategy that provides collective vigilance. The presence of others means more eyes and ears to detect potential threats, allowing each individual a better chance to react and hide when necessary. Yet, even within the group, the alertness remains high, and each member can quickly become overwhelmed by the environment's unpredictable dangers. Interestingly, guinea pigs communicate with each other through a range of sounds, from soft purrs that signal comfort to sharp squeaks warning of danger. These vocalizations help maintain social bonds while also serving as alerts, allowing the group to coordinate their responses to perceived threats. This balance of social connection and heightened vigilance encapsulates the delicate line between seeking safety in numbers and guarding against fear. The guinea pig's habitat also plays a crucial role in its survival strategy. Preferring areas with ample cover, such as thick grasses, rocks, and burrows. The guinea pig relies heavily on the availability of safe spaces. These natural shelters are not just physical protection but psychological reassurance, a tangible refuge that reduces stress and fear. When the environment lacks these safety nets, the guinea pig becomes visibly more anxious and prone to erratic behavior. All these traits, constant alertness, quick retreat, social vigilance, and the need for secure shelter, form a vivid metaphor for the human experience of deep insecurity. The guinea pig's natural instincts teach us about the primal roots of fear and the universal drive to protect ourselves from perceived harm. This small, vulnerable animal, with its sharp senses and survival tactics, stands as a living symbol of the emotional state many humans carry within. By observing the guinea pig, we gain not only a clearer image of what insecurity looks like in the animal kingdom but also a deeper empathy for our own feelings. This connection between human emotion and animal instinct sets the stage for exploring how our inner worlds mirror the natural behaviors of creatures around us, and how, perhaps, understanding these parallels can help us navigate our own fears more wisely. When we look closely at the guinea pig's behavior, the similarities to our own emotional experiences become unmistakable. The small creature's constant alertness, its quick retreats, and its reliance on safe spaces mirror the way deep insecurity shapes human behavior. This connection is more than a coincidence, it is a reflection of our shared instinctual roots, revealing how deeply our minds and bodies are intertwined with the natural world. Imagine a person entering a crowded room. Beneath the surface, a silent alarm may be ringing, prompting a heightened awareness of every glance and whisper. This mirrors the guinea pig's wide eyes scanning for the slightest hint of danger. Like the guinea pig, the person feels vulnerable, searching for a psychological burrow, a safe corner, a familiar face, or even the comfort of silence. The internal state is one of readiness to escape or hide if threatened. This instinct to seek safety is a survival strategy etched into our brains, inherited from ancestors who faced real physical dangers. But in modern life, the threats are often less obvious: social rejection, failure, or emotional pain. Still, the body responds similarly, muscles tense, senses sharpen, and the mind races with what-if scenarios. The guinea pig's natural vigilance becomes a metaphor for this internal tension, reminding us how our bodies react to perceived threats, even when they may be imagined. The retreat behavior is another strong parallel. Just as the guinea pig darts into its burrow, people often withdraw emotionally or physically when overwhelmed by insecurity. This withdrawal might look like avoiding social situations, shutting down communication, or building emotional walls. It is a protective instinct. A way to prevent harm when vulnerability feels too risky. However, just like the guinea pig, hiding too long in its burrow can limit its chances to thrive, excessive human withdrawal can isolate us and prevent growth. The social dynamics are also strikingly similar. Guinea pigs live in groups to share vigilance, yet each individual remains on edge, ready to respond to danger. Humans, too, seek the safety of community and connection to soothe insecurity. Yet paradoxically, insecurity can cause feelings of alienation and mistrust even in close relationships. This tension creates a cycle where the very thing that could provide comfort, others, becomes a source of anxiety. The guinea pig's delicate balance between social reliance and self-protection captures this human paradox perfectly. Moreover, the guinea pig's reliance on shelter as a safe haven finds a clear echo in human behavior. People create safe spaces not just physically but emotionally, routines, habits, familiar environments, or trusted relationships that serve as refuges from the unpredictability of life. These sanctuaries help regulate anxiety and provide a sense of control, much like the guinea pig's burrow shields it from harm. When these spaces are disrupted, insecurity tends to flare up, reminding us how crucial safety is to emotional well-being. This natural connection also invites compassion. Recognizing that our deep insecurity is part of an instinctual pattern shared across species helps remove judgment. It becomes easier to see ourselves and others as creatures trying to survive and feel safe, not as flawed or weak. The guinea pig's behavior is not about cowardice but about life-preserving adaptation, and so too is our human insecurity, a signal, an invitation to care for our vulnerability rather than deny it. In this light, the metaphor of the guinea pig transcends simple comparison. It becomes a mirror reflecting the dance between fear and safety that all living beings engage in. By understanding this connection, we can begin to reframe insecurity from a source of shame to a natural, shared experience. This insight opens the door to deeper self-awareness and, ultimately, to finding healthier ways to manage and embrace our vulnerabilities. The deep connection between the guinea pig's instinctual behavior and human emotional insecurity is not just poetic, it is rooted in biology and psychology. To understand this link, we need to explore how our brains and bodies respond to perceived threats, and how these mechanisms are mirrored in the animal kingdom, including in creatures as small and seemingly vulnerable as the guinea pig. At the core of this connection lies the brain's fear response system, centered around a small but powerful structure called the amygdala. The amygdala acts as the brain's alarm system, constantly scanning for danger and triggering the fight, flight, or freeze response. When the brain perceives a threat, real or imagined, the amygdala activates, setting off a cascade of physiological changes. Heart rate increases, muscles tense, and adrenaline floods the bloodstream. This heightened state of alert prepares the body to react quickly. In humans, this response evolved to protect us from immediate physical dangers. Yet, in modern life, the threats we face are often less tangible. Social rejection, failure, or emotional pain can activate the same fear circuits. This leads to a chronic state of vigilance in some individuals, especially those with deep insecurity. The amygdala remains sensitized, causing people to feel constantly on edge, much like the guinea pig's ever-watchful eyes. From a biological perspective, the guinea pig's behavior is driven by similar survival imperatives. Its nervous system is wired to detect subtle changes in the environment and respond rapidly to potential threats. This is why guinea pigs are highly sensitive to sounds and movements, and why they retreat swiftly into hiding when alarmed. Their fight-or-flight reflexes are finely tuned by evolution to maximize survival in a world filled with predators. Psychology further explains the emotional experience tied to this biological groundwork. Deep insecurity often stems from early life experiences that condition the brain to anticipate threat or rejection. This conditioning can create what psychologists call a hypervigilant state, where the individual constantly scans for danger signals, sometimes misinterpreting neutral or benign cues as threats. This pattern closely resembles the guinea pig's constant state of alertness and readiness to flee. The concept of attachment theory also sheds light on the connection. Human beings naturally seek secure attachments to feel safe. When these attachments are unstable or insecure, anxiety and fear increase, leading to behaviors similar to the guinea pig's seeking of shelter and safety. Psychologists have observed that individuals with insecure attachment styles often display heightened sensitivity to social cues and an increased need to retreat when overwhelmed. Moreover, neuroscientific studies reveal that chronic stress and anxiety, common in insecure individuals, can alter brain function, reinforcing the hypervigilant state. This means that insecurity can become self-perpetuating, with the brain wired to expect threat and to respond accordingly. The guinea pig's behavior can be seen as a natural analog to this cycle, an animal that has learned through evolution to anticipate danger and take protective action to survive. Evolutionary psychology adds another dimension. It suggests that behaviors like vigilance, withdrawal, and seeking safety are adaptive strategies developed to increase survival chances. The fact that both humans and guinea pigs share these instincts indicates a deep evolutionary connection, highlighting how our emotional responses are shaped not just by culture or individual history, but by millions of years of survival demands. Finally, studies in comparative psychology reveal that many animals display emotional responses and coping strategies that parallel human experiences. The guinea pig's anxiety and hiding behavior are examples of how even small mammals experience fear and insecurity in ways that are surprisingly relatable. This scientific perspective helps demystify our emotional states, framing insecurity as a natural, biological process rather than a purely psychological flaw. In summary, the scientific explanation for the link between human insecurity and the guinea pig's behavior involves a complex interplay of brain structures, evolutionary survival strategies, psychological conditioning, and social attachment. Recognizing this connection enriches our understanding of insecurity, reminding us that beneath our complex human minds lie ancient, shared mechanisms designed to keep us safe, even if sometimes those mechanisms make us feel trapped by our fears. To truly understand the invisible threads that connect our emotional insecurity to the guinea pig's instinctual behavior, it helps to see these patterns play out in real-life situations. These mini-stories illuminate how the quiet, constant hum of fear and vulnerability shapes our daily lives, just as the guinea pig's cautious nature governs its survival. Take Anna, for example, a young woman starting a new job in a bustling office. Despite her qualifications, Anna feels an overwhelming anxiety each morning. Like a guinea pig entering unfamiliar territory, her senses heighten as she scans the room for any sign of judgment or disapproval. When a colleague laughs in a nearby conversation, Anna's mind races. Are they laughing at her? This invisible threat triggers her to retreat into herself, answering emails quietly and avoiding group lunches. Her burrow is the corner of the office where she feels least exposed. Anna's story echoes the guinea pig's instinct to find safety in the smallest shelter, a place that shields from perceived threats. Then there is Mark, who faces social anxiety whenever he meets new people. At parties or gatherings, Mark's heart pounds and his gaze constantly flickers around the room, searching for escape routes. When someone approaches to talk, he feels like the guinea pig caught in the open, vulnerable and exposed. To cope, Mark often makes excuses to leave early or stays close to the wall, his personal, safe zone. This avoidance limits his social connections, just as the guinea pig's hiding can limit its ability to explore and thrive. Another story is of Lisa, a mother juggling work and family life. Despite her outward calm, Lisa carries a deep-seated fear of failure and rejection rooted in childhood experiences. This insecurity manifests as a constant need to control her environment, organizing schedules down to the minute and avoiding conflicts. Her behaviors mirror the guinea pig's vigilance, always scanning for danger and preparing to react swiftly. When unexpected changes disrupt her carefully planned day, Lisa feels overwhelmed and retreats emotionally, much like the guinea pig slipping quickly into its burrow to escape uncertainty. In relationships, insecurity often creates a push-pull dynamic. Take John and Sarah, a couple who love each other but struggle with trust. John's insecurity leads him to constantly seek reassurance, checking Sarah's messages or reading too much into her tone. Sarah, feeling overwhelmed by his neediness, sometimes pulls away to protect herself. This cycle reflects the guinea pig's social paradox, craving connection but fearing vulnerability. Their emotional dance is a human echo of the animal's delicate balance between social life and self-preservation. In professional settings, insecurity can also manifest as imposter syndrome. Consider Emily, a talented graphic designer who consistently doubts her abilities despite positive feedback. Like a guinea pig in unfamiliar surroundings, she questions every decision, fearing exposure as a fraud. This fear leads to procrastination and self-sabotage, behaviors rooted in a deep desire to avoid potential rejection or failure. Emily's experience shows how insecurity can create invisible barriers that limit personal and professional growth. Even small daily choices reveal the imprint of insecurity. For example, when Alex hesitates to speak up in meetings, it's not just shyness, it's a protective instinct against judgment. Like the guinea pig's instinct to stay quiet in a noisy world, Alex chooses silence as a form of self-preservation. These moments of retreat, repeated over time, shape patterns of behavior that feel safe but can ultimately hinder fulfillment. These stories show how insecurity is not a rare or isolated condition but a common human experience, shaped by both internal feelings and external circumstances. Just as the guinea pig's instinct to hide is a survival strategy, human insecurity is an adaptive response, signaling the need for safety and understanding. By recognizing these patterns in ourselves and others, we begin to shift our perspective. Instead of labeling insecurity as weakness or failure, we can see it as a natural part of the human condition, an echo of ancient survival instincts. This awareness opens the door to compassion, healing, and the possibility of building safer emotional burrows where vulnerability can be met with kindness, not fear. Understanding the profound connection between our human insecurities and the natural instincts of the guinea pig invites us to a deeper reflection, a chance to look inward with gentle curiosity rather than harsh judgment. Insecurity, often seen as a flaw or weakness, is revealed here as a vital signal from our inner self, a beacon that guides us towards safety, connection, and growth. This reframing allows us to embrace vulnerability as a strength and begin the journey toward emotional resilience. The guinea pig's life teaches us the first lesson: it is natural to seek safety. Our instincts drive us to protect ourselves from perceived threats, to retreat when overwhelmed, and to remain alert in uncertain environments. Instead of battling these feelings, we can learn to acknowledge and honor them as part of our survival mechanism. Recognizing that our need for security is universal, and deeply rooted in biology, reduces the shame often tied to insecurity. Next, the metaphor encourages us to explore the spaces we retreat to, our emotional burrows. Are these safe havens that nurture us, or are they traps that limit our growth? Just as a guinea pig's burrow protects it from danger, our emotional shelters shield us from pain. However, staying too long in these protective spaces can isolate us from connection and opportunity. The challenge lies in finding a balance between safety and openness. Venturing out into the world with awareness, while carrying a sense of security within. Reflection also leads us to the realization that insecurity is often fueled by misperceptions, ghosts of past experiences that cast shadows over our present. By shining light on these internal fears, we can begin to question their validity. Are these dangers real or imagined? This process of questioning builds emotional intelligence and empowers us to respond rather than react to our fears, just as the guinea pig's heightened alertness can become more measured with experience. Furthermore, the guinea pig's behavior teaches the value of small, incremental steps. It never leaps blindly into danger but tests the environment with cautious curiosity. In human terms, this suggests that overcoming deep insecurity does not require dramatic leaps but small acts of courage. Speaking up in a meeting, initiating a difficult conversation, or simply allowing ourselves to be seen. Each step, no matter how small, builds confidence and widens our emotional territory. Another vital lesson is the importance of community and connection. Guinea pigs are social animals. Despite their caution, they thrive in groups where safety is shared. This reminds us that while insecurity may urge us to isolate, genuine security often grows in the presence of trusted others. Building supportive relationships where vulnerability is met with understanding can transform our emotional landscape. Ultimately, embracing the lessons from the guinea pig metaphor opens a path toward self-compassion and growth. Insecurity is not a barrier to happiness but a doorway to deeper self-awareness. When we approach our fears with kindness and curiosity, we create the possibility for transformation, turning vulnerability into a source of strength. This journey asks us to be patient and forgiving with ourselves. Healing from deep insecurity is not linear, it involves setbacks and breakthroughs. Like the guinea pig, we may retreat many times before feeling safe enough to explore further. But every moment spent listening to our inner signals, learning from them, and responding with care, brings us closer to emotional freedom. In the end, the guinea pig teaches us that the search for security is a shared experience across species, a thread that connects all life. By understanding our instincts rather than fighting them, we empower ourselves to live with more authenticity, courage, and peace.